Hi, this is Dr. Gilbert. I am joined by Rachel Matthews. Hey, Rachel.
Hi, everybody.
And I am, hopefully you can hear me. I'm outside in beautiful, sunny California. I think this is a town called Cambrio, pretty sure. My husband and I I went to the OMA conference this last weekend, and we decided to take a little drive up the California coast. So it's a gorgeous day here. And you can tell they're getting ready to celebrate um, Halloween. Everything's decorated Halloween. So how are you doing,
Very
Rachel?
fun.
How are you?
Doing great. Just got back from our women's retreat at church this past weekend. Had an opportunity to speak on our health identity and how that
Oh,
compares to our faith identity, how they work together. So it was a
yeah. How can you make that more consistent?
yes,
How
yes. How do
cool is
they
that? I
impact each
love
other?
that. I
It was
love that.
really
That's awesome.
cool.
I
Yeah,
bet
it was.
because a lot of times, I'm just going to say it out loud here. A lot of times when we go to church, we kind of forget about our bodies.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
kind of one of the main topics that I'm sort of exploring right now in my own personal studies is why in general has the big C church sort of
Yeah.
ignored our holistic health, right?
Right.
It's looked at a
Yeah.
lot of elements of our health, but we
Yeah.
don't address all the parts.
Yes.
So how, yeah, and when our health is not well and our identity is poor, how does
Right.
it impact our faith identity?
Right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. How awesome is that? So glad that your church is doing that. Cool.
Yeah, it was a
Cool.
really cool topic.
Mm.
Great weekend. We were up at Tadmore. It was
Mm.
sunny and
Oh,
hot and
Tadmore. How
beautiful.
fun is
Yeah,
that? Yeah, that's beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's good weather probably.
really good weather.
This is just an entirely gorgeous day here. I mean, just soaking it up. It's so beautiful. Yeah, so we better get to our topic though, right?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so we're on to something new. This is our third week, or fourth week. Yeah, Sleep Smarter. Thank you. You have
Mhm.
the book right there,
Yep.
and you have the book. So I'm going to lean on you, Rachel, on
Mhm.
for our pointers. Or
Absolutely.
yeah,
So we're on chapter 3. It's a fourth week, but the first week we did the intro. So
right.
we're
That's
on
right.
chapter 3, and the chapter is called Avoid Screens Before Bedtime. So
Mm,
if you remember, this book is all about every chapter we're going through what Sean Stevenson is describing as some great ways to improve your sleep hygiene. So these are all
right.
ideas, and he talks about um, throughout the chapter. He talks about why. Like I
Yeah.
think that we hear that a lot. Why should you don't look at your phone, put your phone down? But sometimes I don't know that everybody knows why. So what comes to
Right.
your mind when you think of why should I put my phone down?
Right. Well, because of the
Mhm.
blue light emitting from the screen all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially after the sun goes down. So, and I had to learn this. But the other thing
Mhm.
about the phone is it's just so distracting
Yeah.
and it doesn't let your mind calm down. And
Mhm.
when you're trying to go to sleep, you need your mind to calm down.
That's right.
You
You
don't
don't
need to
need
keep thinking, next,
yeah.
next, next. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Every notification, every email, every text now suddenly gets your mind on the next topic and thinks about having to do something. The minute
Mm-hmm.
you're on the to-do list now, you're not shutting down. And so we all know what that's like to think about something and not be able to fall asleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So right, it's just not allowing your brain to sleep, to go to
mhm,
rest, to do the job that it has
right.
um, for during sleep.
Yes.
So you don't want any more input. You don't want any more stimulation. You just want
Right.
to say, okay, now's the time for
Yeah.
my body is has to do so much good work for my health
Mhm,
at this
mhm.
point in the day or night that is so important that I'm gonna turn it off. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I like what you said, no more input. So think
Mm.
of your bedroom as a no input zone. This is not, where we're doing work or computing, or it should be a place where it's free from all of those
Right.
interruptions, distractions, data,
Yeah.
right?
A
The
real
noise.
sanctuary, a real sanctuary, a real sacred place even. Yeah, for your body
Truly.
just to be able, this is the space, even in my home, this is the place. This is
Mhm.
the space where my brain is safe.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love
my body
that.
is safe. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one can get to me there. I love that. It's like a
Mhm.
boundary. The minute I walk into my
Mhm.
bedroom, there's
Mhm.
boundaries, and I
Yeah.
put up physical boundaries, like, in my phone, like blockers and
Right. Yeah.
notification things,
Yeah.
but then you can also, if you start to think of it as a mental boundary, like, when I
Yeah.
walk through here, now there's a force field around me.
Right. Yes.
I like that.
Protecting. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so
So
it kind of reminds me of a funny story. So we were privileged to host our son's wedding, and so it was a joint effort. We used our neighbors, our beautiful neighbors. They have a gorgeous little gazebo, and we had the small intimate wedding there, and then we had the the rest of the after party at our house, so in our backyard. But anyway, it was so funny because
oh,
bridal
I
party took the room, and then the mother of the bride needed a room, and then the groomsmen trailed in and they needed a room, and I said, I was like, okay, I can let that room go as long as I have my bedroom. I'm as long as my bedroom's is my space. And then eventually I had to give up my bedroom. So anyway, it was funny. It was funny,
yeah.
but protecting that, yeah.
Mhm, mhm, yeah. And that's interesting that the way that you describe that because, I don't know about you when you were a kid, but when I was a kid, my parents' bedroom seemed like this sort of, like, place you don't go, it's kind of like, "Oh,
Yeah,
mom
right.
and
No,
dad's
true,
room."
true.
Yeah, and even my kids will say the same thing, even if I'm, brushing my teeth in the bathroom, they're like, kind of, "Can I come in?" They're kind of like, this mysterious place.
Yeah,
But I like
right.
that. I
Yeah,
like that it's not
yeah,
their space.
right. And it's not a place for screens. And darn it, Rachel, I'm still working on this. Gosh,
What
because I definitely do work in my room. I do, and I have my computer. And oh, come on, I'm working on it. I'm working on
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's the thing. We're all working on it, right? That's what's so great
Mhm.
about that honesty and vulnerability that we're not all perfect all the time. Um, and continuing to find new ways to like, okay, how do I remove this? Or I guess the question for yourself is like, does it impact me a lot? Because for some
Right.
people, it may not.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Is it taking away from the quality of my sleep? And
Right.
am I waking up refreshed and ready for the day? And I'm just going to tell you, as much as I want to say, oh no, little TV doesn't hurt me. Oh no, little computer time doesn't hurt me. It's probably doing more harm than I think. Because I
Ah,
don't have a way to really, I mean, other than waking up refreshed, ready
mhm,
for the day, I don't have a way to measure how well I'm sleeping, I guess,
mm,
you know,
mhm.
and what the quality of my sleep and how much did I download and how much did I detox? Is my brain detangled from all
Oh,
the buildup from the day?
yeah.
I don't have a way to measure that. So I gotta accept and trust these experts who tell me 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard though when you have a fast, so much to do. So much of our work it does involve these screens.
Mhm. Yeah. More and more.
More and more. How do
Mhm.
we get away?
That's a really great point that sometimes you feel refreshed, you wake up fine, and we can lean on that and think caffeine's not really affecting me. It's not
Mhm.
impacting me because I fall asleep fine. I sleep through the night. But what we learn about in these sleep studies and these sleep books is that the
Mhm.
quality of your sleep during the sleep, if you were plugged
Mhm.
into something, they could measure things that you're not aware of. So
Right.
are you fully recovering? Are you
Mhm.
fully untangling, like you said? And our brains go through a period of garbage disposal, right? It's a
Right.
total detox of the
Yes.
brain.
Yeah.
Is it doing it fully? Are we giving it
Right.
every chance? So that's a great point. We don't know. So can we trust the experts a little
Yeah.
bit here?
Yeah. So my baby step, Rachel, is
Mhm.
blue blockers. That's my baby step.
Okay, nice. And remind us what those do.
Yeah, so they block out most of the blue light that is emitted from the screen, the television screen, your computer screen, the phone screen, and there are ways to turn down the blue light on your phone and on your computer, after night, because when the sun goes down, you really don't want any more blue light, because that blue light from the screen then decreases the melatonin production. And it's melatonin that really helps the quality that actually you're making during the day, but it zaps it if you get blue light after the sun goes down, and then that's going to change the quality of your sleep for the not so good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It
So
affects metabolism, it affects your insulin, it affects thyroid. I mean, it's just, there's not just one thing, there's so many downstream effects of that. So
yes. Yeah, it keeps going. It's not just one. So that's an important piece, is when we're talking about sleep, it's a multifaceted, thing here.
Right.
So, okay, well, let's talk about, I know you don't have much time, but let's talk about the tips. There's just really quick, there are 4 power tips back of every chapter.
Yeah.
So number 1, he says, turn off your screens 90 minutes before bed. So that was where you said that 90 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
About
All
an
right.
hour. Okay.
I'm going to pay attention to that this week. I'm making a commitment right here, right now.
There it is.
I like to go to sleep by 9:30. So that means 8 o'clock for me.
8 o'clock. Yeah. That's where they're shut down. Okay. And then he says, power tip number 2 is find an alternative activity then. So if it's an hour and a half before bed, we talked about reading or talking, right? Talking with your partner, your spouse, your kid.
Right.
But of course, trying not to have conversations that are stimulating.
Stir up trouble.
Or stir up trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Settle down. Hey, Kenny, I see you there.
Hey.
Number 3 is turn notifications off. So you mentioned that.
What's number 3? Say it again.
Turn notifications off.
Oh, right. Yes. That's pretty easy. I like that.
That's pretty easy. Yep. You can tell your phone that there's a certain time that stop the notifications. And I really stop notifications at that 90-minute mark, because I want the full 90 minutes to not have any new thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can let your loved ones, your kids know that, you can let your kids know, and they can learn to respect that. Yeah.
That's right. And for any of you who are worried about emergencies, you can tell your phone to allow calls or allow notifications from emergency numbers.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah.
And then the 4th one is really that blue light blocker. Like you said, there's, you can get online and look at lots of different, glasses and things. And you can even get, light bulbs in your room that only emits more of the warm red tones. So I have a little night light that when I'm getting ready for bed, I turn that on. I can still see everything, but I don't need that really bright overhead light.
Yeah, same. We've got red. We've got a red bulb. Yeah.
Yep.
Try to stop wearing sunglasses.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
And those are the 4 tips. So those are some quick tips. You can certainly get online and look up, there's lots of things you can look online.
Give
but
it a try. Do commit to one thing to improve the quality of your sleep.
Yeah. So one small step, start somewhere and see how it goes.
All right. I'm going to do hard fast 8 o'clock. Bam.
Bam. There it is. Okay.
You can ask me next week.
Okay.
Right.
Oh gosh, I'm going to make a note that I'm going to ask you how that is next week, and check in. That's perfect.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, we got to go. We're gonna go walk around this darling little town, but I'm excited to get back to Oregon and jump right back in and teach everybody what I learned at the OMA conference.
Yes.
So, all right.
Exciting.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Rachel.
Bye, everybody.
See you, Rachel.